I'm a promise.
And I am a promise.
I am a promise.
I am a promise.
And I am a promise.
I am a promise.
And I am a promise. Our mission is to serve our homeless children and their families here in our community and work with our local churches in order to do that.
There's no way to convey what we do. It's not a package. We're not making headlights. We're not making cars. We're helping people.
Provide somebody a stopgap or just kind of a temporary help until they can right themselves, and this is for somebody who has just suddenly become homeless and they don't know where to turn, and many of us live paycheck to paycheck.
We don't take any state or federal grant money here at Family Promise. We like to rely on the community, our churches and businesses here to really support us and these families.
Ended up and I had nowhere else to go, and I had nobody to turn to help me at all. And so, I had nowhere to go. I had no money to do any better or anything. And I really didn't know what avenues I could take to change any of that until I got to Family Promise.
Things weren't going so good. I was working a full-time job, but my hours got cut, so they kind of got me behind a little bit. I had to give up my apartment. I was going to school. Like I said, I had a full-time job, but the bills just didn't add up to the money that I had. So my mom was telling me about Family Promise, and I gave them a call.
The things that they're calling for may not be the answers that they're looking for. And we try to help guide them to the answers that they're actually looking for. Like, throwing money at a problem a lot of times doesn't solve what their actual issue is. Like, you can give somebody money, that doesn't fix, like, you'll still be homeless the next month. You gotta help them get through the basics of, like, you gotta have an income. So the families that actually come into the program, I interview them. I try to make sure that they're eligible for the program. We work with tons of volunteers. There's lots of children around. There's lots of other families, so I have to make sure that they're safe first. And that's the first thing I do. I interview and make sure that they can pass a background and a drug test.
What it's all about, helping homeless families with children.
When we get families, that means small children and even teenagers are becoming homeless, and it's becoming an epidemic in our communities.
Family Promise does not take just homeless people in, they take homeless families. There must be an adult and there must be children involved. And we work it out to where there are maybe 12 or 13 churches that take care of them every night.
It makes you feel good because this Family Promise ministry is one where you can actually see the difference. You can see the people come into the ministry with a spirit of desperation and despair. And then after you work with these people and you get to know them and love them, then you have the joy of seeing them turn that desperation and despair into hope and enthusiasm and excitement, because they are actually having a difference made in their life that will continue on.
I think it's one of the biggest strengths is the volunteers. We have over 500, 600 volunteers depending on the churches and how many different people volunteer, but they get to impact these children's lives and these families' lives.
Well, host church for Family Promise Ouachita means that about once a quarter, they show up on a Sunday morning, and we set up some of our classrooms, and they begin to stay there. And they eat there, they come in that afternoon, they stay there that night. They are fed a meal that evening. The next morning they have breakfast, they pack them a lunch, they head off to the day center. We basically host them. The name is a good name. We host them for that week. They sleep there. Our people provide all the meals, they interact with them, they play with the kids. They do like if somebody was coming into your home. It's the same concept, except we do it in a church setting, and we turn classrooms into bedrooms.
We do a few fundraisers during the year. We have Picnic in the Air, we have Oodles and Noodles, and upcoming Cardboard Box City. We also have Club 365, that is an ongoing, that people, it's $1 a day or $31 a month that they can give to help these families go through this rough time in their life and to help us get them back on their feet.
There's no fear that should be involved for a church to get involved in Family Promise of Ouachita. And it's truly a hand up and not a handout.
Volunteers are the strongest part of Family Promise of Ouachita.
We need 365 club members.
Well, we're the only program that I'm aware of nationwide, and we're affiliate of a nationwide program that keeps the family unit together. Most of the organizations, they'll keep the moms and the children together, but the father, if the father unit is with them, has to go somewhere else. So you break up the family unit, and that can be disheartening to a child, and they can get, have some issues from that. But we try to keep the family together. It's a program of dignity. We help them help themselves, and kind of a hand up instead of a handout.
The time that I was at Family Promise and going back and forth to the churches, not one person ever made me feel ashamed. I did enough of that on my own, but not one ever made me feel ashamed or judged us in a harsh way at all for the situation that we were in. Every single person that we came into contact while being here at Family Promise was just really understanding and loving.
That would be Shayna Chesney, I guess, because she's been one of our most recent success stories.
What we wanted to get involved in, because we wanted to make more of a difference in their life than just feeding them or clothing them as they stayed on the street, but to get involved with a ministry that was actually committed to helping them become mainstreamed again and restoring that pride and that self-confidence of being able to actually take care of themselves once again.
The success rate has been astounding.
That's the greatest thing ever. So, and that's all, I couldn't have any of it without Family Promise.